Hello, welcome to Wight Wanderer and another Viewpoint episode, which for those of you who don't know is a series of videos in which I find the best viewpoints on the island and the best footpaths to take to get to them. We're also going to be talking a lot of history today on this walk, which starts here at the very pretty Ventnor cemetery.
Ventnor Cemetery sits just east of Wight Down, placed high above Ventnor itself, actually situated in Lalverville. It was established in 1870 and houses many war graves, including the graves of 3 brothers who died in World War I, only rediscovered in 2021, when local councillor Mark Jeffreys noticed the headstones hidden in a long overgrown section of the churchyard. The walk we are taking today is accessible via the number 3 bus route, which stops close to the cemetery. From here, we are walking up Down Lane, climbing sharply towards St Boniface Down, the highest point on the island at 242 metres above sea level.
Now, this geological mass of chalk I'm currently ascending dominates the southeast corner of the island, connecting the downs of Wroxall with St Boniface and St Martin's in a kind of horseshoe-shaped elevated plateau sitting high above the surrounding countryside.
Standing imposingly over Ventnor and Bonchurch, St Boniface Down has long been a hive of historical activity. The name of the down can be traced back to the 8th century and the island's eventual conversion to Christianity. St Boniface himself, whose real name was Winthrith, preached from the Pulpit rock in Bonchurch, and the down was named in his honour. Jumping forward in time somewhat to 1962, and our first visible historical evidence of an event that happened in this area can be spotted on this plaque. A reminder of a solemn and tragic incident which took place on this down.
That year, a Channel Airways Douglas C-47 was on its way back from Jersey bound for Portsmouth. It was approaching the south coast of the island when suddenly it became obscured by clouds. It very quickly lost sight of the down, and not long afterwards it hit the ridge, instantly bursting into flames.
10 on board were killed instantly, 2 of which were the pilots, with a further 2 dying of their injuries later on. The plaque itself is placed close to the crash site in remembrance. The geographical placement of the down, though, wasn't always a hindrance, as St Boniface itself proved to be a vital position in World War II. In 1937, RAF Ventnor was established and a sizable radar station was constructed. This station played a key role in locating enemy aircraft, proving instrumental in the Battle of Britain and Operation Overlord. During the Cold War, the base housed an underground nuclear bunker for operations. There are also remnants of other military activities in the area, including the remains of a rifle range and a brick-lined cave actually used as an ammunition store.
Stepping away from military history, this area also shares a connection with none other than the great novelist Charles Dickens, who in 1849 was staying in Bonchurch and regularly took strolls up St Boniface Down. Up here, it is thought that he wrote 6 chapters of perhaps his greatest novel, David Copperfield.
Before we move on though, I wanted to tell you another little story connected with this place. Not anything likely to be found in any history books, but certainly important to me personally.
10 years ago, in fact just under 10 years ago, I came up here with a group of friends to film a music video for a band I was in at the time. And the theme was zombie apocalypse. And yes, it was just as cliche back then as it is now. The band never went anywhere, but something did, because up here, in fact, just under 10 years ago, was the first time I met Nell, my partner in life and crime. She had purple and white blotchy skin, a big open wound across her face, and dribbling fake blood. It was love at first sight.
Anyway, enough of the soppy stuff because there's more walking to do and more history to see. like for example these barrows, which date back to the Neolithic and Bronze Age. There are many of these barrows situated on the island, and the ones located here are for the most part very well preserved. This route is also great for trig bagging, i.e. the art of visiting and photographing as many trigonometrical pillars as possible. 4 trig points are visible on this walk, but with a few detours you can bag a few more.
Now down in the valley behind those trees is Wroxall, and just behind me you can also see St Martin's down. If you follow the whole U-shaped plateau around from Wroxall down to St Martin's, there are in fact 7 trig points you can bag if that's the kind of thing you'd like to do. It's also just a really pretty walk.
As we head along Luckham Down, soaking in its beauty, we swing east towards Cowleys, walking a narrow path through the natural hallway of wild garlic.
The smell is phenomenal. I've just had my lunch and I'm fast becoming hungry once again. I'm just heading down to Cowleys now, and once we get there we will cross over Leeson Road. Now if you watched my video on Ventnor, my recent video on Ventnor, then you may remember I referred to it as the island's newest and largest glorified footpath.
The last time I visited this spot 3 or 4 months ago, this busy route was devoid of traffic, and despite the removal of the road closed sign on Cowleys Hill, the story is very much the same. Unfortunately, the road itself, which was the busiest in and out of Ventnor, fell victim to an enormous landslip late last year. And although ground monitoring equipment has now been installed, the date as to when the road may finally open is still unknown.
On the upside though, it does give you the rare opportunity to stand in the middle of a once busy main road without fear of getting run over. Although it's best just to be wary, just in case.
If you want more detail on the subject, then I will include a link at the end of this to a video which I did earlier on this year about Ventnor's current connection issues. For now though, it's time to continue on our journey as we descend down towards Luckham. Luckham itself is one of the oldest settlements on the island, and today, unlike the neighbouring town of Shanklin, it remains a small quaint village with spectacular views over the coastline. Here we join the Isle of Wight coastal path as we wander down through the more affluent areas of Shanklin. On our way we pass Luckham Priory, built in 1864 as a gentleman's residence for a Henry Waters, before being converted into holiday lets in 1966.
We're just coming down this very eerie path now towards Shanklin Chine, hidden away beneath the old town. It opened to the public in 1817 and is in fact the oldest tourist attraction on the Isle of Wight.
Eroded away by the stream over a period of 10,000 years, the Chine really is a hidden wonder. The word Chine itself is of Saxon origin, meaning a deep narrow ravine often caused by water scything through the soft sandstone along the coast. The attraction itself is a haven for rare plants and wildlife. The Chine was also perhaps unexpectedly useful during World War II, as the location was used as an assault course by the Royal Marine Commandos, training for the 1942 raid on the port of Dieppe. It also housed part of the Pluto fuel pipeline, a section of which has been preserved. The Chine now has a heritage centre with a vast amount of information about the Chine itself and its development over time. And it is here in this stunning Garden of Eden that we finish the walk. As always, we hope you've enjoyed the video. And if you would like to support the channel and help us make more videos like this, you can do so via the collection pot link in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again very soon.